से सकल विश्व को पलते देखा, उनको गोकुल के गोरस पर 100 बार मचलते देखा, 100 बार मचलते देखा। प्रबल प्रेम के पाले पड़कर प्रभु का नियम बदलते देखा, हरि का नियम बदलते देखा। जिनका ध्यान बिरंच शंभु सनकादिक से न संभलते देखा, जिनका ध्यान शंभुषं सनकादिक से न संभलते देखा, सनकादिक से न संभलते देखा। उनको ग्वाल सखा मंडल में लेकर गेंद उछलते देखा, प्रभु का नियम बदलते देखा। प्रबल प्रेम के पाले पड़कर प्रभु का नियम बदलते देखा, हरि का नियम बदलते देखा। जिनके बंक भ्रिकुटी के भय से सागर सप्त उबलते देखा, उनको ही यशोदा के भय से, उनको ही यशोदा के भय से अश्रु बिंदु अश्रु बिंदु दृग
ढल रत्नधाधमं इत्यग्निं प्रतिष्ठा ओम नस्वा ओम मदेन मन्नस्वा सरस्वतेन मन्नस्वा ओम देवधविनः प्रथुवा ओम ज्ञानान्त्वा गणपतिं भवामहे कविं कवीनागुभमद्रभद्रमा ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पते आनत्रन्दन्नोदिविद्ये दधातनग्गे स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं ग्लां ग्लौं गणपतये वरवरद सर्वजनं मे वसमानये स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ग्लां ग्लौं गणपतये वरवरद सर्वजनं मे वसमानये स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं ग्लां ग्लौं गणपतये वरवरद सर्वजनं मे वसमानय स्वाहा। महागणपति कृपा कटाक्ष सिद्धिरस्तु। ओम भगम्य जामके सुगंधिं उर्वारुकमिव बंधन मृत्योर्मुक्ते जमामृत। ओम त्र्यंबकं उर्वारुकमिव बंधन स्वाहा। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम्। याजनाज विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गी वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात् ओम महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्न्यै च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुख निर्विघ्नं भद्रं मृत्युं म्यघं स्व ओम विष्णु बीजनं भद्रं मृत्यो मृत्युं नमाम्यघं स्वाहा विद्महे तन्नो नारसिंह प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम ब्रह्मा भानुद्दति भूमिसुतो बुधश्च गुरुश्च शुक्रः शनिकेतवः सर्वे गृहाः शान्तिकरा भवन्तु स्वाहा ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् कृति संयोज्य शोभनार्थागमनाय च चान्दारयामि नमावो
We welcome you this morning to Vishnu Mandir, and we hope you will join us in satsang, prayers, kirtan, bhajan, etc. We pray and ask that peace and love reign between not ourselves only, but the whole world, especially today where there's an imminent war which is about to take place. We ask that cooler heads prevail and less destruction of mankind. If each of us do our part, and each of us pray, and let us not say that my prayer will not be of any use. Every prayer is useful. We pray for ourselves, we pray for the whole world. Please join with me. Asangoham, 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 purah purah. Satchidananda-rupoham, Satchidananda-rupoham, ahameva avavyaham. Asangoham, 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 purah purah. Satchidananda-rupoham, Satchidananda-rupoham, ahameva avavyayam. Kya hua? Can someone put this on the screen, or there's no one to do it? No, I have to do this every morning. It's difficult. Anyhow. This is a prayer to Lord Shiva, where we ask, unattached, unattached, because Lord Shiva is detached and He's teaching us. For us to enjoy this world, we are attached to our family, our children, etc., of course. But we must have a sense of detachment from time to time during the day. From time to time during the day, you must feel as if you are alone. And that's the only way we can contact with the Lord. Pandit can do it for you. No Swami can do it for you. No individual can do it for you. You have to do it yourself. Asangoham, 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 pudah pudah, satchidananda rupoham, ahameva. Now we take refuge at his feet with this not a beautiful prayer. Unfortunately, it's not on the board. So much of training, yet the one that's not on the board. Dharmanishto svinachatmavedi Bhakti baltva charanaravinda Akincha ananya gati sharanya Tvatpadamula sharanam prapadya Prayer says, I know no dharma. I know no meditation. I have no devotion. I am helpless. I don't have anything. I am totally dependent upon you. Even 5 minutes if you do this every day. Dharmanishto svidachatmavedi Bhakti baltva charanaravinda Akincha ananya gati sharanya Tvatpadamula sharanam prapadya Let the flute take you far away from here. Don't think of anything. Just keep the Lord in your heart. Guru Surya hai, Chandra Guru hai.
Guru Surya hai, Chandra Guru hai.
Guru hi Purna Prakash.
Guru hai Purna Prakash.
Guru Surya hai, Chandra Guru hai. Guru Surya hai, Chandra Guru hai. Guru hi Purna Prakash.
Guru hai Purna Prakash.
Shiva as your Guru. It's coming up in the beautiful time of Shivratri. So we dedicated all these prayers now to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is our Guru. He's the first Guru as well. Guru ke charanon mein milta hai,
गुरु के चरणों में मिलता है
तदपद को उल्लास।
सूर्य है चंद्र गुरु है पूर्ण
वंदे देव उमापतिं सुरगुरु, वंदे जगत कारणं, वंदे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरं, वंदे पशुपतिं।
सूर्य है चंद्र गुरु है पूर्ण
कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवानी सहितं नमामि।
सूर्य है चंद्र गुरु रे गुरु है पूर्ण
गङ्गातरङ्गणमणीयजटाकलापं गौरी निरन्तरविभूषितवामभागं नारायणप्रियमनङ्गमनापहारं वाराणसीपुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथं। वाराणसीपुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथं।
सूर्य है चंद्र गुरु रे गुरु है पूर्ण
Atma Tvam Girijamati Sahachara Prana Shariram Griham Pujate Vishayoga Bhoga Rachana Nitya Samadhisthati Sanchara Parayo Pradakshana Viri Stotani Sarva Gira Yat Yat Karma Karo Vitardaya Khilam Shambho Tavaradharam
सूर्य चंद्र गुरु रे गुरु है पूर्ण
सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु
सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु
सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु
सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु
सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु
सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु
सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु
सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु गुरु सूर्य चंद्र गुरु रे गुरु है पूर्ण
It's coming up to the beautiful time of Shivratri, so I would like to talk about Shiva a little bit this morning, and I would like to talk about the Shivling. Ling really means a symbol, and the Shivling is that aspect of Shiva which is a symbol of Shiva. If you see a person wearing a stethoscope around his or her neck, you know that person is in the medical profession, either nurse, doctor, whatever the case may be. It's a symbol. So many places have a symbol. See, Lord Shiva really doesn't have a form. We have the form of Shiva, as you can see there, because this was given to us as a form for us to decorate, meditate upon. But really, Lord Shiva's worship is done in the lingam. Nothing else, lingam. You go to all the huge temples in Madras, the south of India, where the culture is really in the Vedic tradition. There's a temple in Chennai called Kapaleshwar Temple. In that temple, there's no murti of Shiva. There's only the Shivling. As they might have the murti on the walls and so forth, but the deity, what is worshipped there is the Shivling. The Shivling represents Shiva, a symbol. Linga means a point. It really is an unmanifest part of Shiva then. And the Shiva you see up there is a manifestation of Shiva. It is pleasing to our eyes to see that Shiva with his jata and nag around his neck and the trishul in his hand. It gives us a different feeling of connection with Shiva. But really, the worship of Shiva is in the shivling. The shivling has to be made of granite. It can't be made of marble. It has to be made of granite. Anybody knows why? Pharmacist, you know why? Is there a pharmacist there? Bracing at the post, no? No, not him? Okay. Rabbi, you duck your head. You don't want me to call you. Okay. All right. The shivling is made out of granite because granite is usually from volcanic eruptions. And in this granite has a lot of this energy in it. The granite of itself, that is why the murtis in India are all made out of granite. At least we have our Balaji with pure granite made from Tirupati. We have Kartikeya. The granite of itself has the energy, the source of energy in it. From the lava, all the source energy, all the electrons. See, I don't want to get too chemical or biochemical here, but in the shivling, it is made up of molecules, and in each molecule there is an atom, and in each atom is a proton and a neutron and an electron, and they all spin in the atom. The electron spins in the atom because it goes around the proton and the neutron. The proton is the positive energy, and that is represented by Vishnu. The negative energy is represented by Brahma, and Lord Shiva is the neutron. He is neither negative nor positive. This is who Lord Shiva is. He has no birth. And the electron is spins around the proton and the neutron, and that is the negative energy. And negative and positive, they attract. Two positive don't attract. Two are negative and a positive. So the electron and the molecule, look, this is something called valency. I don't know how much chemistry students we have around here. You ever heard of valency? Oh, you never did chemistry? Okay. All right. So the valency is usually formed by molecules put together, and that's called the valency of this element. Valency was called Renuka. In the olden days, this is after thousands of years ago, there is a young lady in CERN, in Switzerland, whose interview we have in the museum, but nobody goes to see it. And there she talked about the power of Shiva. She's a scientist in CERN, where she worked with the Hadron Collider, which measures the speed of light. They just measured it recently. And this Renuka is represented by who? By Parvati. So the lingam is a source of energy, and when the water is poured on the lingam, that is the Parvati. Parvati is represented by the abhishek that we do on the lingam. And when it goes on the lingam, then the two of them unite together and bless us. In each lingam, there is supposed to be a lot of energy and a lot of force. And this, if it is just a piece of stone, a granite stone, it will not have it. But when this granite stone is installed as a lingam, and the lingam has these different shapes. If you look at the diagram, I don't know if it's bright enough for you all to see, but you can see one part, the top part of it is Shiva, the middle part of it is Vishnu, and the third part is Brahma. So all three are incorporated into this lingam. This is why the lingam is so important. The length of the part, which is the black part that you see there, there's a specific measurement for it. It must be the height of that granite must be 1/3 of the circumference of the largest part of the part that represents Shiva. In other words, where the largest part is, you do the circumference, it should be the height should be 1/3 of it. It is specific measurements for these. Why? Because of the specific measurements, the forces, the energy source is derived from this. So it's not just constructed just like that. It is a lot of thought and mathematics is put into it before it is constructed. So I would like to let you all know when we do ling worship, it's so important. I am telling you what I know for myself, and I know practically what the lingam can do for you. I know this for, I can't tell you more than to say that I know for sure the lingam will give you results if you do this worship. And that is why Shivratri is so important to us. So for those of us who took Shivratri as an ordinary festival, it is not an ordinary festival. It's one of the most important festivals in the Hindu calendar. And to pay obeisance to Lord Shiva is one of the most important things that we can do, where we can honor him. So I give you a reference. Lord Rama was about to go to Lanka. And here, the bridge was constructed. And you know this bridge? Don't say it was not constructed, because NASA, as you all know, you all saw it in Google, etc., NASA has proven that this bridge was there, it was made by heavy stones. If I go into all that in detail, what I want to tell you today, I would not have a chance, but you can look it up. So the bridge was constructed. We know that for sure. This bridge, when it was constructed, Bhagwan Ram said in Lanka Kand,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Paramaramya uttamaya dharani, Paramaramya uttamaya dharani, Mahima amita jai nahi यहाँ की भूमि अत्यंत सुंदर और उत्तम है. Prabhu Ram said, this place is very beautiful. That I should put the lingam here. I don't know how many weeks ago I told you this story. I don't know if Prabhat will be, it's a long time. I don't know if you can find it in his database there. 5 Shiva temples were constructed from Kedarnath to Rameshwaram. For those of us who don't know India, Kedarnath is way up in the Himalayas. Way up in the Himalayas. Rameshwaram is at the tip of India. So imagine India, the diagram, and there it is. Kedarnath temple, Kaleshwaram, Kalahasti, and Rameshwaram, etc., Chidambaram, and so forth. You can see, this was done not speaking to one another because it was done hundreds of thousands of years ago. It was done in the same latitude. One line, one straight line, same latitude, because our rishis and our masters, they knew the calculation where to put the murti. So Lord Rama said, this is the place. Imagine how many years ago Lord Rama came. He says, put the murti here. Today, when this analysis is done, we have found that this is the... So temple is not put like that. There's a lot of calculation involved. Especially when the lingam is made, a lot of calculation is involved. The height, the circumference, the 3 stages, all this. So Lord Rama said, this is a beautiful place for me to put the... और इसकी अपार महिमा का वर्णन नहीं किया जा सकता है. He said, this place, I can never describe in words the glory of it. Because of this, right here, मैं यहाँ शंकर जी की स्थापना करूँगा और मेरे हृदय में यहाँ महान संकल्प है. Sankalp means what? Desire. It is my desire to put a huge temple of Shiva. Rameshwaram is one of the 5 temples of India that has 1,000 pillars in it. Has anyone here visited Rameshwaram? When you go to Rameshwaram, you got to bathe in 7 ghats. 7 ghats. So when I went, I had I had a little fellow with me, walking with me there. And the fellow said, you can't go to the temple unless you bathe in these ghats. When I looked at the water, what we say in Guyana, had kai. You know what's kai? You know what's kai? You know what's kai? Moss. Green. So I said, I'm not bathing in that. So I said, bathe the fellow for me. So I said, yes. I gave him a few rupees. The fellow took the bath. 7 baths, 7 kai pot. He took the bath. Then I went to the temple. But these are the rules of the temple. But when you see the water, you don't want to bathe in it, okay? This is the place. Lord Rama, since that time, why am I telling you this? Because I'm telling you this. Temples in India are sacred because they are constructed according to the mathematics of the place, where the energy location is. So when you go to India, and you want to go see Amitabh Bachchan, and you want to go see Shah Rukh Khan, and because if you don't see these people, you're going to India. The pilgrimage is not fulfilled. But you know what? Forget about Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan. Go to some of these temples. And when you go to these temples, how you walk in them? Bare feet. Don't say, oh, it's called to walk bare. No, bare feet. You know why? Because the energy is in the temple and you absorb the energy from your feet. Where was I? I got so far. Anyhow, the lingam is oval in shape. Besides that, You see, the nuclear power plants, they are shaped like a lingam. You look at the nuclear power plants, they are shaped like a lingam. And in each nuclear power plant, water is called heavy water. That H2O, but H3O, is circulating around it all the time to keep it cool. That is why our lingam must always have water upon it. Always have water upon it. Every day we do Shiva Abhishek here. Every day we do Rudram here. That is why our lingam, I'm telling you, you don't have to believe me, it has a lots of energy. Try and absorb some of it. So, this lingam, it is shaped, the top part is shaped like an egg, like an ellipse, like an egg. And this egg shape represents the cosmic egg. You know, you heard of Big Bang Theory? You all heard of the Big Bang Theory? Where the cosmic egg explodes, Hiranyagarbha. When the Hiranyagarbha explodes, that cosmic egg is represented by the lingam. Bhagwan Shiva represents the cosmos, and yet he represents an atom. Madoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Adoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. He can be the smallest of atom, and he can be the hugest of the cosmos. So, that egg is represented by the lingam. Now, when you are about to be conceived in your mother's womb, you start as an egg also. That egg cannot even be seen by the starting of that egg, the starting of the egg. Like when you go into 4 and 8 cells, you start with 2 cells first, then you multiply to 4, then 8, then 16, then 32, then 64, so much cells come. All those cells starts like an ellipse, like an ovoid. This lingam represents the creation of us. This is the importance of it, why we should do this puja. And he said further in Ramcharitmanas,
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Linga Thapa Vidivata Kari Puja. Linga Thapa Vidivata Kari Puja. You all know this very famous Chopai, Linga Thapa Vidivata Kari Puja. He put on the lingam of Shiva, and he did the puja to Lord Shiva. A long story to that, but the lingam is criticized in the schools over here, and in America, and in England, and wherever anti-Hindu sentiments are, because it's supposed, they say it represents a phallic symbol. You see, they are taking it in a different light. It does. It has the representative of phallic symbol, but it is an originator of life. If you look at the lingam, the phallic symbol is there, and you look upon which it stands, it's like a cross-section of the uterus of a lady. If look at it, I don't know if you can see it there, but it looks like the womb and the cervix and everything. And this is what is called the originator of life. This lingam is not a lingam as such, but a lingam which the life origin comes from. And when we pray to Lord Shiva, Trilokapati Mahadeva hai, Adi Ananta Mahan, Palana Karta Shiva Mere, Rachate hai Vidhi Vidhan. उमापति रखियो मेरे लाज,
उमापति रखियो मेरी लाज, रखियो मेरी लाज।
भूलक सारे दुनियादारे, भूलक सारे दुनियादारे, तुम है भोजनवास।
उमापति रखियो मेरी लाज, उमापति रखियो मेरी लाज।
उमापति रखियो मेरे लाज।
उमापति रखियो मेरी
भूलक सारी दुनियादारी, भूलक सारी दुनियादारी, तुम है चूके राज। उमापति
रखियो मेरी लाज, उमापति रखियो मेरी लाज।
And when we pray to Lord Shiva, we will not have to say that why I am in this difficult world. I must not say I'm not angry with you, O life. I am simply baffled by it. I am not angry with you, O life. I am simply baffled by it because I am distressed with your innocent questions. Life asks you so many questions. You know, life, you understand what I say? Life, the life that you live. You are saying to the life, I am not distressed with you. I am just astonished. And I want to know how come this life can be lived with all these woes with me. And we say, तुझे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी हैरान हूँ मैं, ओ हैरान हूँ मैं।
तुझसे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी, हैरान हूँ मैं, हाँ हैरान हूँ
astonished with life. He will direct you. This is a song that was done by parents, old parents, who are neglected by their children. And they want to know what wrong they did in life. But they are still saying, I am not angry with you, life. I am just astonished what has happened to me in my life. जीने के लिए सोचा ही नहीं, दर्द संभालने होंगे।
जीने के लिए सोचा ही नहीं, दर्द संभालने होंगे।
मुस्कुराए तो मुस्कुराने के कर्ज उतारने होंगे।
मुस्कुराए तो मुस्कुराने के कर्ज उतारने होंगे।
हो मुस्कुराओ कभी तो लगता है जैसे होठों पे कर्ज रखा है। हो तो जैसे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी।
परेशान होंगे, ओ परेशान
You saw the meaning of it? Said the sorrows of life. जिंदगी तेरे गम ने हमें लो जीने के लिए सोचा ही नहीं, दर्द संभालने होंगे। I never thought that to live I would need to bear this pain. Very significant. मुस्कुराए तो मुस्कुराने के कर्ज उतारने होंगे। I never thought I would have to smile, because to smile I owe a debt to my lips. हो मुस्कुराओ कभी तो लगता है जैसे होठों पे कर्ज रखा है। हो तुझसे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी। परेशान हूँ। So when you know that this shivling has all these properties that take away the woes of life from you, give you energy, give you strength, and you know what it does to us? When you do the contemplation to Lord Shiva, when you do this meditation to Him, you sit just a few minutes. Oh, Namah Shivaya. But try to keep the mind, try to keep your thoughts, those thoughts. Have freedom. The mind must have no touch. There must be no touch of the mind in you then. You must only have the image of the Lord in your heart. Let us say you don't know any Sanskrit. You don't know any big prayers. You don't know any big shloka. Sit down in the morning. Look at the bright sun. Think that the Lord is in your heart, as bright as the sun or bright as the moon. Think of it in your heart. The most important thing is to remove your thoughts, because the thoughts, we are nothing without our thoughts, you know that. Our thoughts kill us. Our thoughts, they kill us. Lord Shiva is the destroyer He's not the destroyer of the world. He's the destroyer of your thoughts. Destroy your thoughts. Sit in front of him. The thought coming to you, oh, I don't have enough money to pay my mortgage this month. Gas price has just gone up. 153, is it, Barbara? 153? 153. Only the other day it was 120. And do you know, gas price is a funny thing. If you know a gas station is selling it for 151, and you see your gas pump there to you is 152, you will drive 4 or 5 miles to get the 151. So by the time you get the 151, it is better to fill up for the 152 because you finish so much. But this is a psyche man. He doesn't want to pay the 152 if he knows he can get it for 150. And he has to drive a few miles, he'll drive. Is that right, Raju? You go here and get it, right?
Yeah.
On Sunday afternoon. On Sunday afternoon, the price is cheaper.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you know that?
Yes.
Some people, Sunday afternoon, price is cheaper. I want to see this Sunday afternoon because my gas is empty. I want to see this Sunday afternoon, the price will be cheaper.
It's in the evening, Baba.
Evening? Oh, evening. Oh.
Every evening.
Okay, every evening. So this is, when we pray to Lord Shiva,
Yeah.
he destroys the thoughts in us. You know why saints and sages are happy? They don't have any thoughts about electricity bill or this bill or that bill or the other bill. They're free. In our lifetime, even a little bit, last 2-3 years, whatever the case may be, let us try to be free. What a beautiful thing it will be to free. Isn't it? Beautiful. It will be beautiful to be free like a bird. Through practice comes yoga. Through yoga comes knowledge. And through knowledge, love. And through love, bliss comes. Yoga here don't mean contort yourself. Yoga here means the discipline of meditation. It doesn't mean contortion. You're going to bend up here with Surya Namaskar. No. This yoga here means you must have the yoga of discipline that when you wake up in the morning, what you can do? You can pray, Guru Surya Hai, Chanda Guru Hai. This is what this yoga is. This yoga means get up in the morning. Guru Surya Hai, Chanda Guru Hai, Guru Hai Purna Prakash. You get up in the morning, you talk to him in whatever language. You know, when the devotee, there's a difference between a devotee and a spiritual person. A devotee prays, and pray all the time. And something goes wrong with him, or whatever the case may be. You know what the devotee does? The devotee says, I prayed to you so much, and you caused this to happen to me. What do you do? Throw the Lord away. Throw the Lord away. Because he was not praying, but he was having a bargain. He is bargaining with the Lord that because I pray so much to you, you have to do this for me. So what he does? He throws the Lord away. He converts to another religion. Look, A.R. Rahman, he was a Hindu Brahmin. You know A.R. Rahman? He was a Hindu Brahmin. Because of something like this, he converted. A spiritualist now, he will do, and if he said, this is my lot, that's my lot, but he continued to do. So a devotee cannot be a devotee, but he must be a spiritual person. And what's the hallmark of a spiritual person? One who's calm, one who's grateful, one who shows gratitude. Not many of us show gratitude. And because we don't show gratitude, the Lord gets upset with us from time to time. So we must try to show Him some gratitude. And when we show Him gratitude, He will what? He will show us what? मेरे सांसों में तू है समाना, मेरे जीवन तो है तेरा साया, तेरे पूजा करूं मैं तो हरदम।
ये है मेरे करम, कभी खुशी कभी गम, ना जुदा होंगे हम, कभी खुशी कभी गम।
कभी खुशी कभी गम, न जुदाओगे हम, कभी खुशी कभी गम।
ना जुदा होंगे हम, कभी खुशी कभी गम।
सुबह शाम चरणों में दिए हम जलाए, देखे जहाँ भी देखे तुझको ही पाए। इन लबों पे तेरा बसन है, इन लबों पे तेरा बस तेरा नाम हो, प्यार दिल से कभी ना हो गए। ये है तेरा
बस तेरा नाम है,
ये है तेरा
तेरा नाम है।
ये तेरा है तेरा है।
ये है तेरे कदम, कभी खुशी कभी गम, ना जुदा होंगे हम, कभी खुशी कभी गम।
कभी खुशी कभी गम। Last thing, what Shivling? The lingam is power, and the Lord is powerful. Lingam is power, and the Lord Himself, He is powerful. Without power, you can only speak when the power of speech comes in you. You can open your mouth, but if the power does not come into you to speak, you cannot have that power. That power has to come into you. And because of that, you can speak. That lingam gives you that power. And it kabhi khushi, kabhi gam. Sometimes you're happy. Sometimes you're unhappy. And you know what? This occurs to us on a daily basis. Some part of the day we are happy. Some part of the day we are very unhappy. Some part of the day we are tense. How you measure your spirituality? You measure your spirituality when you can have an evenness. Happiness, sadness, you have an evenness. When you have that evenness, when everything is even together, then you have the better of both worlds. But to do this, we have to keep on trying our best. We'll have one bhajan and then we'll continue.
वंदे वाहना नागाधरणा
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
You must remember when Arjuna was going to war, he was instructed by Bhagwan Krishna. He had Bhagwan Krishna by his side. He was instructed by Bhagwan Krishna that you must go and get the blessings of Lord Shiva before you engage into this war. And Bhagwan, Lord Shiva, gave him a special bow to use. Not only that, When Lord Rama was going to go to Lanka, he invoked Lord Shiva. So why should we not? If these people can do, what are we? Do not say that Lord, and you know Lord Shiva has no mother. He has no father. You know, when he was getting married, they asked him, you have to give your father's name, your father's father's name, your father's father's name. So they asked him, Pandita asked him, who's your father? He said, I have no father. He said, you must have a father. He said, okay, take Vishnu. He said, okay, if Vishnu is your father's name, then who's your grandfather? He said, I am your grandfather. So Lord Shiva has no origin. That is why his tapasya is kathit. Kathit means difficult. Fasting and prayer. But fasting does not mean fasting by not eating only. It means fasting of the mind. Many people fast and you don't want to hear what comes out of their mouth. It better they don't fast. So, what do you say to the Lord? Mere binati suno murera. Mere binati suno murera. Deda apani daya ka daan. talk a lot about diabetes, but today I want to talk about pre-diabetes. Pre-diabetes, before diabetes is seen in you. Pre-diabetes. Pre-diabetes occurs in us about 2 decades before diabetes comes out in us. 2 decades. About 20 years. This, from the starting of pre-diabetes. So what is pre-diabetes? You remember last week I told you about measuring your blood glucose and measuring your blood insulin, which is not done in the doctor's hospital here because it's expensive. One person had to get it, they had to pay to get it done. But if you suspect, I will give you some of the symptoms of prediabetes, and if you get those symptoms and you go to your doctor and you say, you know what, there was a fellow, my priest in my temple said that I must measure my insulin. He said, is your priest no more doctor? You tell him, say, yes, your priest is also a doctor. And a specialist too. Not only a doctor, but a specialist. And he says, you must measure my insulin. You go try them out and see what they tell you, especially if you have a history of diabetes in the family. So pre-diabetes, if you measure your glucose, that green line is your glucose. Can you all see the green line? Yeah. Is it see? Yeah. The red line is your insulin. The red line and the green line should be the same height. You got it? I'll show you a normal. That's a normal. That is your normal. The insulin and the glucose must be together. In a pre-diabetic state, you see the glucose, the insulin, sorry, the red is the insulin is rising, but the glucose is still normal. So you go to the doctor, he does your glucose, yeah, what are you worried about? Your blood test is fine. So you said, you know what, I'm getting some symptoms of diabetes, which I will tell you about just now. And my family has that, I'm a from diabetic family. And all my life I eat roti and rice and aloo. If he's white, you got to tell him what aloo is. Some of them who are Indians, you got to tell them what aloo is, because they are Indians, but they turn white when they become a doctor. So you got to tell them what aloo is. So you measure the insulin is getting high. You know that your insulin is going up. You are pre-diabetic stage. Next slide. Oh, so that. So when your sugar goes up, you see that green line? It's no longer coming down. You remember the green line was coming down? The green line should be the normal one again, Prabhat, just because it's difficult for people to understand. You see the green line? That's a sugar. No. So you wait. Show the green line. You all see the green line? That's your sugar. Your insulin is going up, but you're not diabetic yet. Next slide, Prabhat. Now, the insulin has gone up, which is your green line, and the sugar has gone up, which means that you now are diabetic. It takes about 20 years for that to happen. If your doctor is on the board. Next slide, Prabhat. Now, when you have a high insulin state, which I told you about, insulin resistance, I tell you about it. What do? You gain weight because the insulin drives the sugar into the fat cells and make you fatter and fatter. And what you get, a Canadian?
Tire.
Canadian Tire. You all know what a Canadian Tire is, right? You all see the boy with the Canadian Tire? You get Canadian Tire. And you gain fat. And what the fat does, it increases something called a hormone. You all know what? Anyway, just forget about hormone. It increases something in your blood called leptin. Leptin is the one that usually go and secretes something else called ghrelin, and it makes you satiated. Is it on the next slide? See the next slide? No. Okay, go back here. So the leptin is increased, and the leptin stops something to work called ghrelin, which makes you not hungry, and when it stops that ghrelin from working, it makes your hunger get worse and worse. You become leptin resistance. And where the people who are diabetics, who are taking insulin, who have lots of insulins, if you ask them, they will tell you they are so hungry they could eat, pardon my language, they could eat a cow. They are so hungry, they raid the fridge, they raid everything in the fridge. They get really, ravenously hungry. That is when the insulin is high, and it does that. Next slide, please. And so, can you make this slide a little bigger? So what are the symptoms of diabetes? Can you all see? Extreme thirst, frequent urination, dry skin, always hungry, blurred vision, always sleepy, lazy, want to sleep, and nausea. These are some of the symptoms of pre-diabetes. So when you see, oh, so lazy, check your sugar. You go into the washroom, you're urinating a lot, or you're getting very thirsty, that's another sign. Next one. So the ABC approach, if you're pre-diabetic, to prevent yourself from becoming a diabetic, your attitude has to be positive and say that I am going to eat less carb, because the carbs is what cause my pancreas to produce more insulin. I do not want, I have too much insulin on board, I want less insulin, so I let the pancreas to work less. So your attitude must be right. Measure your blood sugar. Your blood sugar, fasting blood sugar must be less than 100. And if it's not controlled, you control it with medication, diet. But you see that big E there? That big E. E is for? Exercise. I can't see it. What it says? Exercise. I wonder how many you all exercised this morning. You did? That's good. God bless you. You did? You exercised this morning, young lady? You exercise, Brahma? You exercise, you walk up the step. You have to exercise until you sweat. Strenuous exercise. Panting, short of breath, and sweating. That is exercise, okay? They say, oh, I walked up to me. How you walk? You walk as if you want two cane to walk with. That's not exercise. You have to exercise, and you have to have the fortitude and the will. Next one. Why is exercise good? Please remember this slide. Am I giving you all too much?
No.
Exercise is good because exercise lowers your blood sugar better than insulin. Do you know that? Exercise lowers your blood sugar more than insulin because you're already insulin. You have a lot of insulin on board. You have to give more insulin. It drives fat cells into the fat. So exercise burns the sugar more than the insulin. Believe me. How much exercise? If you can walk 20 minutes, brisk walking if you can, brisk walking for 20 minutes. Okay, the place is cold, walk in the basement, walk up the stairs and come down the stairs. Walk around in a mall. The mall is open, isn't it? You can walk in the mall. And those who, you can go to the gym from tomorrow. You can exercise in the gym from tomorrow. You can go to your treadmill. You can go on bicycle. You can go so many things. It helps the insulin to work better. Please remember this. You have storage of insulin. It helps the insulin to work better. It improves your blood sugar. It takes out the fat from the fat cells. And it increases your muscle maintenance. And you feel good after exercise. How many people don't feel good after a good exercise? After exercise, you sweat, you come, you take a shower. You don't want to come out of the shower because you feel so good. And if you have a sauna available to you, if you have a sauna, you like to go to a sauna. Sauna is good. It causes you to sweat a lot. It's a good thing to do. All these help, and it decreases fat weight. Next. Benefits of good sugar control. Please look at this. What are the benefits of good sugar control? You maintain good body health and nutrition. You lower the risk of infection because when there's too much sugar in your blood, ulcers, wounds don't heal. You know when people get an operation? I don't know how many people you know has that operation who are diabetics. When we operate on diabetics, we tell them that because you are diabetic, your wound can get infected. And unfortunately, it does happen. And an infected wound can keep you long dressing it, especially a diabetic. It just doesn't heal because the sugar is too much in the blood. So it lowers your risk of infection. It increases your energy level. As I said, it increases the body healing process. And it helps decrease the complication of diabetes, which is like kidney disease, eye disease, heart. Next one, please, Prabhat. Why is exercise good? I told you that already. Oh, lowers much. Yeah, I told you that already. Yeah. How does regular exercising help in preventing or delaying type 2? Help to prevent or to delay. To delay type 2 diabetes is that there are forward word of meta-analysis, etc. It all means, especially if you eat a heavy carbohydrate meal, don't go and walk immediately. Wait for half an hour, 45 minutes, and go and walk. Because instead of your pancreas secreting insulin to burn the sugar, your exercise can burn the sugar. And this is what is important. Next, please. Next one. What kind of exercise is best? Some form of regular exercise is likely to be beneficial in most patients with diabetes. If those with advanced and long-standing diabetes, we encourage patients with diabetes to perform 30 to 60 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity. Aerobic means that you've got to be panting while you're doing it on most days of the week. And we tell patients to choose a type of exercise he or she will enjoy. So you can have a regime, 10 minutes of stretching, 20 minutes of gentle aerobics exercise, and the exercise should be performed regularly and preferably at the same time in relation to meals and so forth. Next one, please. Setting smart goals. If it's too much, I can stop. Setting smart goals, you got to be specific. It has to be measurable, attainable, reasonable, and timely. No, that's a big step. Next one, Prabhat. That's it. I'd like to give Prabhat a big cheer for doing all these slides for us. Because had he not done it for us, we would not be able. Thank God he does not have to put any of his words in this. So we are saved by that. But nevertheless, we thank you very much, sir, for doing this for the community. And I would like people to give us some feedback, either with Jati or whoever it is, or let Pariboj knows if it's too much, if it's too detailed, or it's understandable, and what else you would like to hear. Gita Dhyanam. Om Pataya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam
Narayana Swayam
Yasena Gratitan Purana Murinam
Madhya Mahabharatam
Advaitamrita Varshini Bhagavate
Ashtadashadrayani
Amba Tvamanusalladhavi Bhagavat
Gite Bhavatveshini
Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe
Fularvindayata Padraditra
Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purna
Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradip
Prapalla
Rudravedekapale
Jnanamuddaya Krishnaya
Gita-amrituhe namaha
Sarvopanishado Gavo
Dugdha Gopalanandana
Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhukta
Dugdham Gita-amritam mahat
Vasudeva Sutav Deva
Kamsa-chanuramardanam
Devaki Paramananda
Krishnam Vande Jagadguru
Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadata Jala
Gandhari Lopala
Shalyagravati Kripena Mahade
Dharina Veerakula
Ashwattama Vikarna Ghora Makara
Duryodhana Vardini
Sutirna Khalu Pandavaira Dadadhir
Kaivarya Keshava
Parasharya Vachasarojamamalam
Gita-gandhottatam
Nanakhyanaka Kesaram Harikatha
Sambodhana bodhitam
Loke Satchana Shatpadairaharaha
Priyamanam muda
Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalibala
Dhratvam siyam shreyase
Mukam Karoti Vachalam
Pangum langayate girim
Yat Kripatamaham Balde
Paramananda madhavam
Yam Brahma Varunelaruda Maruta
Stunvanti divya samhe
Vedaisyaгаpada Kramo Parashidai
Gayanti yam samaga
Dhyana Vastita Tadakatena Manasa
Pashyanti yam yogino
Yasyaltam Navidu Sura Suragara
Devaya tasmai namah
I am going to repeat a shloka which I have done before. It's in chapter 9, verse 22. Wish to re-emphasize that when you surrender to the Lord, I'm giving us a prelude. When you surrender to the Lord, He will give you everything that you need. Everything that you need. Not everything that you want. You got it? There's a difference. You might want to own CN Tower, but he knows you don't need that. So he will not give that to you. I want you all to understand this very clearly. Very, very clearly. He will give you what you need, not necessarily what you want. And what you have, He'll take care of it. What a beautiful thing. But you have to surrender to Him. And inside of you, one of the most important part of the bhakti is smaranam. Smaranam means remembering Him. Remembering Him before you eat. Remembering Him after you eat. Remembering Him when you leave home. Remembering Him when you come home. But we don't have time for that. We come home, we're hungry, we're cold, we're tired. Who got time to remember God? You want to get a hot cold drink first, and then hot cold drink, and then you sit down. That was on TV. Tennis is on. Basketball, right, Brahma? Basketball is on. Baseball. And evening goes. You go to sleep looking at TV. You go to sleep looking at TV. You wake up in the morning looking at the telephone. How many emails come? But remember, smaranam. Smaranam, or remembering, is more important than any puja. Believe me. Smaranam, remembering, but in order to have that smaranam, we do puja to ask the Lord to help us to remember Him. So this shloka is a very beautiful shloka. Chapter 9, verse 22. For those who would like to, I know you all would do it. You go home, Google Gita, chapter 9, verse 22. Ananyas chintayanto mam.
Ananyas chintayanto mam.
Ye jana paryupasate.
Ye jana paryupasate.
Tesham nityaviyuktanam.
Tesham nityaviyuktanam.
Yogakshemam vahamyaham.
Yogakshemam vahamyaham.
Kshemam means protection. Vahami means I carry. He says, I carry the load. I carry the load of your burden on my shoulders. Bhagavan Krishna is saying that. So much so that one writer, I told you, scratched that word out from the Gita. You remember? I probably forgot I told you that. He scratched it out. And he said, the Lord should not be carrying our load. And the Lord appeared. I told her, but I can't tell her that again. It get too late. It's getting late already. So, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate teshang nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahavyaham. Those who worship me, religiously worship me, thinking of me only, surrendering to me, knowing me with full faith, I am there for them. I will always protect them. But O ye of little faith, remember those words? Where those words come from? O ye of little faith. Anybody remember? Anybody knows where those words come from? From the Bible. O ye of little, if you had faith like a mustard seed. You remember Christ telling us, or the Sermon on the Mount? Sermon on the Mount is all Vedanta that he learned in India. Sermon on the Mount, he learned that in India. So if we have faith like a mustard seed, we don't, because the mustard seed knows that it will grow into a tree, but we don't have that amount of faith in Him. As soon as something happens, there's no God. Yogakshemam vahavyaham. I will always protect you. Gai bhai. Guru. I have to wait. Look.
Jaykara Shiravalida Polisa Chetatvar ki jai.
कोई जाने न जाने महामाया की माया
कोई जाने न जाने महामाया की माया
माता रानी बल देगी माँ
आज नहीं तो कल देगी
हर पंक्ति बल देगी माँ
आज नहीं तो कल देगी
हर पल माँ का ध्यान लगा वो पल माँ का ध्यान लगा वो खुशियों के पल माँ
आज नहीं तो कल देगी।
माता रानी फल देगी माँ
आज नहीं तो कल देगी।
जीवन धूप पर छाया है जीवन धूप पर छाया है महामाया की माया है
महामाया की माया है।
जीवन धूप पर छाया है महामाया की माया है जीवन धूप पर छाया है महामाया की माया है हर मुश्किल का हल देगी माँ
आज नहीं तो कल देगी।
माता रानी फल देगी माँ आज नहीं तो कल देगी कोई जाने ना जाने महामाया की माया कोई जाने ना जाने महामाया की माया
आवाज। मेरे तो आधार सीताराम के चरणार
मेरे तो आधार सीताराम के चरणारविंद।
मेरे तो आधार सीताराम के चरणार
मेरे तो आधार सीताराम के चरणारविंद।
राम की चरणार राघव के चरणार
ओ राम के चरणारविंद, राघव के चरणारविंद।
मेरे तो आधार सीताराम के चरणार
ओ मेरे तो आधार सीताराम के चरणारविंद।
मेरे तो आधार राधा श्याम के चरणार
मेरे तो आधार राधे श्याम के चरणारविंद।
राम की चरणार श्यामा की चरणार
श्याम के चरणारविंद, राधा के चरणारविंद।
मेरे तो आधार सीताराम के चरणार
ओ मेरे तो आधार सीताराम के चरणारविंद।
मेरे तो आधार सीता। समय जा रहा है आदमी लोग भूख लगता है तो खाना ही पड़ेगा people are hungry they want food these people have cooked so much food access
This is food for the soul.
but even food for the soul can get too much sometimes you know doctors give you too much medicine sometimes half the time you vomit out half of them too much medicine is not good. You're supposed not to live without medicine. But to do it, you have to not eat for 18 hours every day.
Every day.
Right? And some day, 24 hours, just water. If you want to live healthy. You don't have to if you want to live healthy. And don't eat too much wheat, otherwise you get wheat belly. Wheat belly. You know what's wheat belly? All right. You watch it or you go see them. All right. Here we are. Meditation. Right? So, we go to meditation and प्रभु जी
प्रभु जी
दया करो
दया करो
मन में
मन में
आदब सो
आने बसो।
We should have a translation of this, Prabhaji. I know you're busy with the telephone, but We should have a translation of this so those who don't understand the words, they can have it. Sorry. Continue. So look at the translation. O Prabhu Ji, Daya Karo, Man mein Arabasu. तुम बिना लागे सुना तुम
बिना लागे सुना
खाली घट में प्रेम भरो खाली घट प्रभु जी तलता मलता पूजा नहीं जानू
मंत्र मंत्र पूजा नहीं जानू
मैं तो केवल तुमको ही मानू
मैं तो केवल तुमको ही मानू
सारे जग में ढूंढा तुमको
सारे जग में ढूंढा तुमको
अब तो आकर बहादुरो अब
तो आकर बाहर
We do 2 pranayams and then we go into silence. Pranayam.
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
Asato ma sadgavaya tamaso ma jyotirgavaya.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय
Mrityormaya vidamgavaya.
ॐ शान्ति 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 ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Bhakti ke deep jalavo.
भक्ति के दीप जलाओ
जीवन को स्वर्ग बनाओ.
जीवन को स्वर्ग बनाओ
जरा से पीड़ मिटाओ.
अमृत रस बरसाओ। ओम शांति 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 ओम शांति शांति शांति।
जीवन को नित महकाओ.
जीवन को नित महकाओ
सब अवगुण को बिसराओ.
सब अवगुण को बिसराओ
हर संताप हटाओ.
नारायण को हर्षाओ। ओम शांति 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 ओम शांति शांति शांति।
ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनापधेतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. Hari Om. Rub your hands together, put it over your face. Ask the Lord to bless each and every one of you. May that energy be contained in you, prevent you from getting sick, etc., etc. Especially with COVID around, we must be extra careful. Please remember that although people say that Omicron is not very, it's very easily transmissible, but it's not as lethal as the Delta, please try not to get it. And I think all of us will get it one day, but if you can try not to get it, it is a good thing because it has a lot of lasting effects. Headaches, lungs, if you get to your lungs. And today we pray for Lata Mangeshkar, who is struggling in India with COVID. She's 92, and she has given to this world and all of us a lot of joy. So we pray for her and ask that Bhagwan bless her. Today's Priti Bhoj is sponsored by Ricky and Molly and their son Brian Raghuveer, celebrating Molly's birthday. That's the lady with the sunshine heritage?
Yep.
Wow. That's the lady sitting there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Look different.
We go to the mass.
So can you come? Associate lady? Yeah. Next, about free seminar on Ayurvedic treatment, on metabolic syndrome, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, high blood cholesterol at 12:30 p.m. today.
बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, तुझियो हजारों साल ये मेरी है आरज़ू। Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Polly, happy birthday.
There's a 3-day virtual camp. Next. Balaji Ekadasi Abhishek, Friday, 11th of February. So not this Friday, but the following Friday. Anyone want to sponsor? I've told you all already. See you at the Parvati or Pandit Bhoj. Jalaram Baba Satsang today at 4 o'clock. Basant Paspi Saraswati Puja, Saturday, February 5th at 5:30 p.m. All students are invited. Purnima, that's far from now. Saturday, so forth and so forth. Mahashivratri is on
February
28th. It's a Monday. And on the day before, we are going to have 108 lingam. If anybody wants a name attached to it, please contact Pandit Bhoj. There's no sponsorship fee or anything like that. In Guyana, I see our young lady here who always supports us very heavily during our dialysis appeal. The government of Guyana is giving 600,000 Guyana dollars for each dialysis patient. That 600,000 Guyana dollars. G. Okay, that is about 3,000 US. Am I right? About 3,000 US, right? Sure. About 3,000 US. But each dialysis costs us $75 US. And they are dialyzing 2 or 3 times a week. So if you multiply that, you can see. Now, the problem comes that if they give the people the check, and they decide to drink out the check, which is a possibility, then we will not be giving them dialysis. I hope you all will agree with that. Yeah. We will tell them, firsthand, either give us a check, we will look after it, or you pay whatever. So hopefully, if that happens and the money comes to, we'll get some little relief. But I'd like to thank you all for the last 10 years, 11 years, to be supporting us. And we still need your support. This is not enough. And we have an eye clinic now. And we are building our operating room. And we want to do some free cataract surgery. When we start, for the first month or two, we'll do free cataract surgery for people who just can't afford to pay, and that sort of thing. There are people, you'll be surprised, there are people here who has family in Guyana, and when they go for dialysis, then they come and say, you know, Dr. Dube, my family is getting dialysis. So, and you know, we have what we call in Guyana, pumpkin vine family. You know what's pumpkin vine family? You don't know what's pumpkin vine? You're from Gujarat, okay. Pumpkin vine family is that real family, pumpkin vine, no? Pumpkin vine run all over the place. Huh? Okay. Or coach? Ji? Today we have to remember 2 great personalities in Guyana. Isu Pasad. You all are young here, not many of you all know him. But he really stood up for human rights in Guyana. He fought all the governments, from Burnham, Hoyt, Jagan, Jagdeo. He fought all of them. Every single one of them he fought. Well, at least the present president went to his funeral, which is very commendable. But he stood up for what he thought was right, and he was not afraid. So many times he was threatened, his life was threatened, yet he stood for what he believed in. Yeah. So he will go to a good place. Balram Singh Rai, who died at the age of 101 in England, because of him, Hindus did not have to become Christians to become teachers. That's a big thing. In the police force, the Hindu boys didn't have to eat beef and pork. He made sure, because he was education minister, he was also home affairs minister. So he did a lot of good things. So we pray for their soul, and may they have good rest where they are. We're going to close now with Sitaram Sitaram.
सीताराम 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 कहिए चाहे बीती राखी राम ताई बीती रहिए मुख में हो राम नाम राम सेवा हाथ में तू अकेला नहीं प्यारे राम तेरे साथ में सीधी का मीदान राम सही चाहे बीती राखी राम ताई बीती रहिए किया अभिमान तो फिर मान नहीं पाएगा होगा प्यारी वही जो श्री राम जी को भाएगा फल आशा त्याग शुभ काम करते रहिए चाहे बीती राखी राम ताई बीती रहिए
जिंदगी के दौर सो नाथ दीनानाथ के
महलों में राखे चाहे झोपड़ी में बास रे
धन्यवाद निर्जीवा राम राम कहिए
चाहे बीती राखे राम ताई बीती रहिए आशा एक राम जी से तुझी आशा छोड़ दे नाता एक राम जी से तुझे नाता तोड़ दे साधु संग राम रंग अंग अंग रहिए काम रस त्याग प्यारे राम रस कहिए
Shri Radhe,
ओ राधे श्री राधे जय जय राधे
बोलो Shri Radhe Govind, Bhajuman Shri Radhe Radhe.
श्री राधे गोविंद भजमन श्री राधे 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 राधे
बरसाने में,
राधे राधे
बरसाने में,
राधे राधे
सुबह में,
राधे राधे
सुबह में,
राधे राधे
सुबह में,
राधे राधे
राधे राधे,
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 राधे 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 राधे
जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की सद्गुरु देव की जय। ओम नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। सर्जन
विसर्जन तुम्हें विश्व करता तुम्हें विश्व ज्योति में हो प्राण भरता हल्के कान हो शक्तिधारी स्वीकारो स्वयं मन जना अब हमारी दया धर्म के मन में
Aarti?
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare
भक्त जनों के
संगत दास जनों के संगत क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे जो ध्यावे फल पावे दुख
विनशे मन का स्वामी दुख विनशे मन का
सुख
संपत्ति घर आवे
सुख
संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का
ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता तुम
मेरे शरण कहूँ मैं किसकी स्वामी शरण पढ़ूँ मैं किसकी तुम बिन और न दूजा प्रभु बिन और न दूजा आस करूँ मैं किसकी ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम
पूरन परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी
स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी
पार ब्रह्म
परमेश्वर पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर
तुम सबके स्वामी
ओम जय जगदीश हरे
तुम करुणा
ना के सागर तुम पालन करता स्वामी तुम पालन करता
मैं मूरत कलकामी
मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी कृपा
करो भरता
ओम जय जगदीश हरे
तुम होए
गोचर सबके प्राणपति स्वामी सबके प्राणपति किस विध मिलो गोसाई किस विध मिलो दया में तुमको मैं
घुमती
ओम जय दीन बंधु दुख हरता
ठाकुर
तुम मेरे स्वामी रक्षक तुम मेरे अपने हाथ उठाओ अपनी शरण लगाओ द्वार पड़ा मैं तेरे जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा हरो देवा
श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश रण मन धन सब है तेरा स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव मुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ देवः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्ति सर्वगुं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेधि गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे बोलिए श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय। श्री महालक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय। धर्म की जय हो अधर्म का नाश हो प्राणियों में सद्भावना हो विश्व का कल्याण हो हर हर महादेव शंभो शिव शिव।
Everyone, please be quiet.
पर कोई है